Good evening, and welcome once again to Shamanic Organic Contemporary Cuisine. Now, I do not know how you may have arrived here this evening, or what particular mental state you may be in. Perhaps you're involved in the frenetic buzz at the stock market, or the daily grind of your office job. Maybe you were doing something physical, running off your feet at the restaurant or the building site. Regardless, I think we can all agree we are now living through a particularly stressful era in human history. What with all the electronic devices demanding our attention, the health concerns, trying to discern the organic from the synthetic, and on top of all this, we now need to contend ourselves with the end of the world as prophesied by the ancient Mayan calendar. This is why, my friends, tonight I would like to show you something beautiful, something peaceful. And that is the Shamanic Organic Relaxing Salad. So wherever you were before arriving here, and whatever particular mental state you may be in, it matters not. The only thing which is important is that you are here now. And before we begin our salad, it is also important that you're all in a relaxed and peaceful state of mind, because otherwise you may end up with an angry salad or a stressful salad, and nobody likes that. So I will ask you all just to take a moment and just to breathe with me, just to slowly inhale. You feel the air filling your lungs. The tension of the day is leaving your body. So to begin, we have the humble iceberg lettuce. And you know, one only need think of the name of the iceberg to feel more relaxed and at peace. The ancient, timeless iceberg floating through a calm, infinite ocean. Calm, calm. Think not of the melting, only of the iceberg. So, and I'm just tearing it into little bite-sized pieces and placing it in this conveniently transparent vessel. Remember to keep breathing. It's very important to keep breathing. And to add to this, I have here the fresh green algae, okay? And you know, I heard once that in the future, the human race may live on a planet in outer space, eating only algae grown in giant vats, fed by solar radiation. How relaxing does that sound? And to introduce some color to our salad now, we have the organic flower petals. Okay, I am assured that they are edible, completely delicious and non-toxic. There we go, just relax, relax. And further to this color, I have here the fair trade crystals. Okay, I believed it was a fair trade. Some people will do a lot for a crate of chocolate and tobacco. And you know, other people, they believe that the crystals have magical healing properties, that they somehow act as a direct conduit to the living vibrations of the entire universe. Other people, of course, just like the taste. And here we have some lovely little cherry tomatoes, okay? They're going to add some mouthy explosions as we're munching through our salad. Keep breathing, it's very important. And finally we have here the organic carrot, okay? And you can tell they are organic because they have this green stuff coming from the top. Proof that it was not grown in a laboratory. I like to graze when I'm cooking. It helps me to relax. And so, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking to yourself, Shaman, what separates this salad from the kind I can buy ready-made at the farmer's market? Well, it is our next step which makes this dish particularly unique. And that is the addition of the fresh Arctic ice melt, okay? Now it is indeed Arctic water flowing within 48 hours of melting. I hope that you do not have as many electrical hazards in your kitchen as I do. You can, of course, use any fresh ocean water which may be available to you. But I find the ice melt will lend our dish some lovely salty characteristics and a glacial crispness. Okay. So now we have assembled our ingredients. You may take your time just to enjoy the aesthetic qualities of your dish. Forget about your dinner guests for a moment. A little time is not going to kill them. Forget about the incessant rumblings of your stomach for a moment. Just relax. And at this point, I like to add soluble aspirin. The clarity of mind is also important for this dish. And you know, looking at this salty water, I'm reminded of a story about salt and a young man. He was a successful young man. He did well in the firm. He enjoyed the finer things in life. He could afford to provide for his friends and throw extravagant dinner parties. On this particular occasion, he was preparing his signature dish, the slow-cooked lamb and potatoes. The lamb had been stewing for many hours. The potatoes were in the oven. Everything was going according to plan. All that remained was to add his secret finishing ingredient, the Bolivian rose salt. Reaching into his pantry, he discovers to his dismay that he is fresh out of Bolivian rose salt. Panic sets in. What is he to do at this late stage? He is going to have to visit the dingy corner store over the road. He hates that store, what with their fetid vegetables and 2-minute noodles. But it is too late. He has no other options. Racing into the store, he approaches the elderly shopkeep behind the counter, who for dramatic purposes tonight will be played by this tiny chicken. Shopkeep, you must help me. I'm in dire need of some Bolivian rose salt. The shopkeep looks thoughtfully up at the fluorescent in the ceiling, scratching his head, and he responds, I am sorry, we do not have any Bolivian rose salt. We do, however, have this bulk buy picnic salt. It is on special for only $2.99.
Picnic salt? Are you mad? That will totally ruin my lamb. Surely you have some pink Himalayan mountain salt? No, I'm sorry. Some Cyprus black flake salt? No, none of that. I would settle for some Hawaiian red. No. Some Texan Grand Saline? I am sorry, young man. I do, however, have this coarse sea salt. New product line arrived yesterday. Coarse sea salt? That is like the common street prostitute of salts. You can see he's getting really angry now. He's ready to do something drastic. When he spies on a shelf behind the shopkeep an ancient-looking jar with a large S on the side. How about that jar, shopkeep? That looks like some kind of salt to me. Ah, yes, indeed it is, but I'm afraid it is not for sale. You see, that salt, it was the invention of my great-great-great-granduncle. In his time, he was a very famous chef, preparing dishes for only the noblest and wealthiest of patrons. So obsessed was he by food that he sought to create a magical, time-saving finishing ingredient which would transform even the sloppiest of peasant dishes into a meal fit for a king. Oh, he's getting excited now. And it is said that after many years of madness in a cave in Peru, and through a combination of purified mermaid urea and an alchemical pact with Satan, he did indeed create this magical salt. It would transform anything. It is said that those who ate it enjoyed their most delicious meal, but unfortunately, the salt was cursed, so it would also be their last. And this was all the young man needed to hear. He rushes the shopkeep, pushing him out of the way. He grabs the salt, and he runs.
Back to his house, just in time to salt the lamb, to greet his dinner guests. They are seated at the table, the meal is served, and to his complete delight and amazement, it is indeed the most delicious thing he has ever tasted. For the next hour, the guests look upon the young man as though he were Jesus having performed a miracle. "Oh, heavenly lamb," they say. Until later that evening, as he lies doubled over on the bathroom floor with terrible stomach cramps, he begins to wonder if he should not have more carefully heeded the shopkeep's words. 3 people died that evening of kidney failure. The toxicology report showed the jar contained ordinary table salt with heavy traces of lead and arsenic. And so, the moral to the story, as some of you may have already guessed, is that you can now bulk order my Shamanic organic Bolivian rose salt online, and you never have to visit the dingy corner store ever again. Okay, so our ingredients have been bathing in the Arctic ice melt for some time, and they will have picked up some of those wonderful glacial crispness and the salty characteristics, and perhaps a subtle hint of little chicken. So you simply need to garnish with the crystals to your taste. And there you have it, my friends. The next time you're feeling stressed about the job or the children, or the end of the world as prophesied by the ancient Mayan calendar, all you need to do is whip up one of my easy breezy salads to feel more at peace with both yourself and the universe.